Hey friends, welcome to the new episode of Code with Jess. So today let's do Leetcode number 239, sliding window maximum. If you haven't done this question before, please feel free to pause this video and try it yourself. I'll put a link in the description box. So this question is given an array of numbers and given a window size k. The output will be a new array with each window's maximum number. So let's take a look at the example. This is the array of numbers and our window size is 3 here. So my approach is to use a deck, which is just a double-ended queue, so we can easily access numbers from both ends. And here we have the result. We have a pointer pointing to the first number. How that works is that whenever we get a number, we check in the deck and delete all the numbers that are less than this current number, then add this number in the deck. That way, the very front of the deck is always the current maximum number. So right now, when I is pointing to 1, since our deck is empty, we just add 1. And we move the pointer to 3. So now 1 is less than 3, so we remove 1 and add 3. And we'll move I to the next number, which is -1. Nothing in the deck is less than -1, so we add -1. When I reaches here, we reached our window size. So we take the very front number from the deck, and that should be our result for the current window. So we add 3 here. Move our pointer to -3. Nothing in this deck is less than -3, so we add it to the deck. And right now, our maximum number in the current window is still 3, so we add 3. And then we move this window again. As you can see now, this 3 is moved out of the window. So we need to delete this 3 from the deck and add 0. When we add 0, we can see the -1 and -3 are both less than 0. So we delete these and add 0. And our current maximum value is 0. Move the pointer again. So -1 is out of the window and it's not in the deck, so we don't need to remove it. And this I is pointing to 5, and the 0 in the deck is less than 5, so we remove this 0 and add 5. And right now, our new maximum value in this window is 5, so we add it to the result. Then we move the pointer again. So -3 is out of the window and is not in the deck, and I is pointing to 3, and the 5 is not less than 3, so we just add 3 in here. The maximum number is still 5. We move the pointer again, and 0 is out of the window. It's not in the deck, and I is pointing to 6. 6 is greater than both 5 and 3, so we remove these 2 and add 6. That makes our current maximum value in this window 6, so we add that. Move the pointer again. Now 5 is out of the window and is not in the deck. I is pointing to 7, and 7 is greater than 6, so we remove 6 and add 7. That makes 7 the current maximum, and we get our result. Now let's write the code. First of all, as usual, let's check if the inputs are valid. Nums can be null. Num's length has to be greater than 0, and k needs to be smaller or equal to the number's length. If the input is not valid, we just return an empty result. Now we need an integer array as our results. And the length will be the length of the number array minus the size of the window plus 1. So if the number is 3, our window size is 2, means our result will have 2 numbers, which is 3 minus 2 plus 1. Also, we need our deck and our pointer. So when I is less than number's length, we go into this loop. So first in the loop, we need to check if any of the numbers in the deck are getting out of the window. To do that, in this deck, we need to save the index instead of the real number. If the deck is not empty, and if the first number's index is getting out of the window, then we remove it out of the deck. So next step, we need to check from the right side of the deck and remove all the numbers that are less than the current number. So while the deck is not empty and the very right number is less than the current number, then we remove the last one. And after that, we put our current number on the last position of the deck so that we have an ascending order deck. And keep in mind we're adding the index. So when the pointer is moved to a position that's big enough for a window, we can start adding the maximum values to the results. So if I is greater than or equal to k minus 1, that means when k is 3, I needs to be at least 2 to produce maximum numbers to the results. So we get whatever is in the first position of the deck and get that value. And after that, we move the pointer. And after this while loop, and after this loop, we just need to return the result. Now let's take a look at it from the top. So first of all, we try to check if the input is valid. If it's null, or if it has length of 0, or if the window size is bigger than the array length, then we return an empty result. Otherwise, we create an result array, a deck, and a pointer. So if the pointer is less than the length of the array, we come and check. If the deck is not empty and if any number is moved out of the window, if there is, then we pop the first one. And we start from the right side of the deck and check if there's any number that is less than the current number. If there is, then we remove this number. And after that, we add the current number in the deck. Then we check if I is big enough to form a window. Then we grab the very first value from the deck and get the corresponding value from the nums array and assign it to the result. Then we move the pointer, and after everything, we return the result. Now let's try to run it. Okay, typo. So this is the result we want, and let's run the example that we just talked about. Alright, and let's test some edge cases. Alright, our output is actually better. And let's try this. Maybe an empty array. Alright, let's submit it. Okay, great. That's about it today. I'll see you guys next time.